Hey guys, I wanted to make a video and tell you why I'm so passionate about children and what's going on here. Because when I was a child, there were no laws that protected children back then. You could beat the crap out of them and nothing happened to you. And so I did get the crap beat out of me, and so did my sisters. And one day, when my little sister, that looked like Shirley Temple, was like 4 years old, she dropped a cookie on the ground. And the boyfriend of our mother, which I never called him my stepdad because I can't stand him, his name's Forrest Hodges, he grabbed her at 4 years old, okay? A little Shirley Temple. Beat the crap out of her, shoved her face into the ground, into the cookie, and made her eat the cookie, and he was squishing her face into it. He had greasy hands. He wore those blue uniforms like for, mechanics. He was a real creepy dude. And I don't know why my mom was even with him, but, it could probably be the abuse that she endured in her lifetime. But, he was beating the crap out of her. He drug her down the hallway by her hair. He was hitting her. Little 4-year-old girl. I was like 9, I guess, around 9 years old. And I looked at my mom, and my little sister was screaming and crying. And I looked at my mom and said, Mom, you have to help her. Aren't you going to do anything to help her? And my mom said, I can't do anything. And she just sat there. So I looked at her and said, well, I can. And I ran down the hallway and jumped on his back and started pulling his whatever little hair he had and hitting him in the back of the head with my little 9-year-old, fist. And he kept on, I could see her down there with cookie crumbs all over her face, black and blue, her hair all, tangled up from him pulling on it and everything. And she looked up at me. She had beautiful blue eyes. She looked up at me, and I looked at her. She knew I was there. She knew I was there to defend her, to protect her, to fight for her, that she wasn't alone, okay? That's why. And he wouldn't get off of her. So I bit him. I bent down and bit the dude on the shoulder as hard as I could. And I bit a piece of his shoulder, the right shoulder, off. It was in my mouth. So I actually bit the dude to get him to get off of her. And he got off of her, and I spit whatever I had in my mouth out. But anyway, he came up to me and said, you're next. And I said, go ahead, hit me. So he hit me on the leg, like on the thigh. And I said, that didn't hurt. Hit me again, big man. And he didn't. That was my first experience with the walk of shame. He walked away. He walked down the hall and walked away. I picked up my little sister, walked down the hall, right past him and my mother, walked all the way down the street with my little sister in my arms. Nobody else would do anything for her or me. No one. I thought everybody in the whole world was eating macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. That everybody was living the same way we were, but they weren't. There was a Ruth Chris. There was all these restaurants and money and Bel Air and Hollywood and Beverly Hills. All that stuff existed. When I was back there getting my ass beat and my sisters by some maniac that wasn't even related. I'd go all the way down to the police station with my sister in my arms, sitting there for 4 or 5 hours in a chair outside the captain or whatever, the person in charge's office. And I sat there with her in my arms, just holding her. And we finally got in and got to go inside and sit down and talk to the dude in his uniform with the gun and the badge and the whole 9. You know, guess what he said to us after I told him what happened to her? The cookie, the floor, the whole thing. Have you girls ever tried minding? Now go on, get out of here. Nah, 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 nah. That's what he did. I had to go back home with her, back to that house and that monster. And did he have it in for me? Oh yeah, I paid for that. Okay? And I was quite willing. And that's why I'm here. Don't abuse children around me, because I'll go ballistic on you, okay? Answer my phone calls. I need some answers about where these children are and what's happening to them, and why you're closing preschools, private preschools that are qualified, that have been doing this for generations, taking away their livelihood so you can open up those dumps over there that you have and take all the kids over there and start giving them shots and all that, beating them, hiding them in those outbuildings or whatever you're doing. I'm on it, and I won't stop until I find out what you are doing, who you are, and what gave you the right and the authority to go around and close other people's businesses that they've had for decades over a face mask or some little girl falling down once in 5 years that they've been open, or some kid tripping on a hose or something, and or something like, and the main injury that happened was when one of the LPAs from the licensing division over here was over there, and they wanted to close them down. So as far as I know, they might have pushed the kid. They were right there with the kid when it happened. What are these people doing? Huh? I'm about to find out. Stand by, because I'm doing this for you. Ta-ta.